Hello, welcome. My name is Miriam. I'm a family therapist, and usually I post videos for parents. But this one is going to be different. I'm going to explain how I prepared myself mentally for an operation I had on my injured elbow just a few days ago. And I'm going to do this because I think this information can help lots of people out there who are facing medical procedures. Now, I'm a person that doesn't like even the blood being taken, and I managed to turn this experience into a relaxing, positive, optimistic adventure, and I'd like to tell you how I did it. So first, a few explanations about our body-mind connection. We have our thinking, intelligence, knowledge, and our control of our body, the way that I'm controlling my arm right now. Here. Underneath, there are complex biological processes that are happening that we don't fully understand, even the doctors don't. Usually, there isn't much connection between the two. We expect our body just to do what it does automatically and let us live our lives. But we also know that there are some yogis who can slow down their heart rate. We know that some people can have operation under hypnosis, not feeling any pain. So there are communication channels from the thinking, logical brain right down to the biological level. And I was going to use this to explain to my body what was going to happen during the operation and how I'd like it to cooperate. The way that I know to communicate with my body is through what people call meditation or guided imagery or self-hypnosis. Now, I'm an experienced clinician, but this is a skill that anybody could acquire. And if you're not familiar with it, I'm going to have some links in the description to help you do that. The second point I wanted to make was that I like to relate to my body as if it was my best friend. It is my companion for life. Our bodies are there from the moment we are conceived until we expire. And sometimes we get frustrated with our body, or we feel that our body betrayed us because it created an illness, or because it's not serving us right, or it's not healthy or beautiful enough. But to me, I want to think about my body as the best friend that I've got, my best ally, and that is how I'm going to communicate with it. So there I am waiting for my operation at the Royal Free Hospital in London. Thank you, Royal Free. And I start by taking really deep breaths, concentrating on my body sensation, on my breathing, and slowly getting to a state where I'm fully relaxed and calm. And I'm telling my body, you know, we broke our arm earlier on. We're going to have an operation. And I feel this surge of anxiety through my body. So I go, an operation is a good thing. I keep talking to my body like this. An operation is a good thing. We need it because at the moment, our bone is broken in a way that can't be healed properly. And the doctors, you know what they're doing. So I was talking this way to my body as I'm deeply relaxed. And after a while, I could think of the idea of an operation, and I had no body sensation of fear or anything like that. And I continue. Now, you don't have to go to this level of detail, but I felt I needed to. So I explained to my body that an operation means that a surgeon is going to come, he's going to have a knife, and he's going to make a cut so that you can access the bone. And again, I was flinching, having strong body responses. And I explained to my body that this is a good cut. Unlike all the other cuts we had in the past, this one is to heal us. The surgeons know what they're doing, and we need to welcome this because it's going to allow the surgeon to access the bone. So after a while, I can imagine and be completely calm with it that there is a deep cut just where it needs to be and exposing my bone. I continue to explain that now there are some metal wires that are going to be inserted into me. And again, my body goes, no. And same process, I explain why they're good. I know some people who have them and I name them. I explain about the hospital and the surgeons, and slowly I go through this procedure where I can describe to my body exactly what's going to happen as far as I understand it. And the body is fully relaxed and fully calm. And from time to time I took a break and I imagined myself post-surgery just being healthy and well, and in my case playing the flute because I'm a musician and music has been such a huge part of my life. So I'd imagine myself on stage after a really lovely improvised solo and everything is great. So I'm doing this procedure, and at some point the doctor comes over to talk to me and explain to me what was going to happen, and I ask, may I please ask you a really, really weird question? He says, go ahead. And I asked, if my body were to cooperate with you, what would you have liked? And he said, oh, you need to be positive and optimistic. And I said, okay, but what do you want? You want more blood flow, less blood flow, more blood pressure, less blood pressure? And he goes, less blood flow. Are you going to control your blood flow? And I'm thinking, I'm going to try. So deep breath again, I relax myself again, and I tell my body that when the cut comes, could it please not bleed very much, because the doctors don't need any blood there, really. And if you can make sure that there is no blood, well, as little as possible. I then realized that my arm is swollen. And I thought, why don't I ask my body to do something about it now? And I swear, I get this unbelievable, clear thought. And it says, lift your arm. And I'm thinking, what? What do I need to do? Quiet. Then I realized, of course, if I lift my arm, I allow the blood to flow down. So I opened my eyes, asked my husband, who was waiting patiently, to bring some cushions, lift my arm, close my eyes, and start imagining things again. Now, during this time, I also checked my phone, and I had a message from my friend Mika Hadar, who is a mindfulness and yoga teacher, and I'll link to her below. And she also said, could you also bless the process, bless the doctors, ask for the atmosphere in the theater to be completely relaxed and focused. And so I did. I started thanking all these doctors that trained so much and so well to be able to help us all. The Royal Free and Ward 7 South, where I was treated, the NHS in England that allows this top standard medical treatment to anyone, anywhere for free. I was aware of all the people in the world that are experiencing far greater difficulties and don't have this available to them. And I was so grateful and so touched by all this experience. It was actually wonderful. At some point when we checked in, it was explained to me that a nurse assistant was going to come and help me get dressed with the operation. And this point came. She comes in and I think, wow, wonderful, we're going for an operation. How great is that? So she helps me and we chit-chat. And at the meantime, I'm on this kind of bed that's got these wheels and I'm wheeled to the theater. And it feels like floating in the air. It's so smooth. And so I say, I'm floating in the air. And the person behind me that I haven't even seen that was driving this bed was saying, nobody's ever said this to me before. We reached the theater. A member of staff introduces themselves and say that they're going to make me comfortable there. They open the door. I see this huge room with lots of apparatus and people taking care of it. And there's a monitor there with my name on it. And I'm thinking, all this is now going to be available to me? All these people are going to work together so that I heal and feel better? I was so grateful, so thankful. And then the anesthetist came. I explained to her my veins are quite difficult to find. She tried once and couldn't find them. And I said that nobody finds them first time. Now, if you've seen me before going to have my blood taken, I would just go like, take my blood, and I'd come out of there full with bruises because my veins are difficult. Anyway, very quickly she found it. Everything was fine. Put the anesthetics in and I went under. And then I'm back there again, have no idea how long it was. I was told 2.5 hours. The nurse offered me some drink, and I forgot to say that the night before the operation, I knew I was going to fast, so I was negotiating this with my body and telling my body that, please, hunger and thirst are the signs it's giving me to make sure that I eat and drink. But we're not going to eat and we're not going to drink that day. So could it please drop the hunger and the thirst and make sure I feel all right? And when we finish all this, I'll give my body whatever it wants to eat. So no hunger, no thirst. nearly 24 hours. I drink and asked, how was the operation? And she said, it was an easy operation, no complication, it was good. The surgeon's going to talk to you in the ward. So we float back to the ward. The nurse takes my blood pressure and says, this is a blood pressure of a young woman. And I think, yeah, we did it. It's great, excellent. After about an hour, more than an hour of wait and more checks, she basically says, you can go home now. And I'm thinking, home? Where is the surgeon? Why isn't he talking to me? And he just explained that they all had to leave. They're not going to come back. She can answer all my questions. And normally I'd be really upset, but I thought, that's all right. There was a strike of the junior doctors. They were busy. They had to go. That's fine. So thank you so much for staying with me. I hope that has been helpful. As I said, there are links in the description for you to know how to do this. Please treat your body like your friend. It's going to help you. Thanks again. Very best wishes to everyone. Bye for now.